Hello and welcome back to CityCon. My name is Mario J. Nicoletto, chairman of the campaigns committee for the New York Young Republican Club, and I'm honored to be joined by member of the European Parliament, vice president of the CHEGA Party of Portugal, and vice president of Patriots for Europe, Vice President António Tânger Corrêa. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. And thank you very much for your invitation to come here with the Young Republicans, because we have in our group a great respect for your organization, and we think that you will have a very bright future in this country.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I appreciate that. I wanted to ask you a question off the bat. We were discussing a little before, and it looks like different European countries have different outlooks on America right now and on our president. And I guess I'd ask you, from an American to a European, how does Europe view Donald Trump?
Well, asking me, it's not the right person to ask, because we in the Patriots, we are pro-Trump, we are pro-MAGA, we are pro-United States of America. And myself, as a vice president of CHEGA Portuguese, I consider the liaison between United States and Portugal absolutely essential for both countries, because the North Atlantic has become a very, very important, it's always been a very important part of our world, but now with incursions of the Chinese and Russians and the dispute of the Arctic, and of course that's the problem of Greenland and so on. So the North Atlantic between Portugal and the United States has become a crucial part of the global equilibrium of the several bodies, the several countries. So I think that more than ever, Portugal and the United States should join forces and be together. And I tell you one thing, Portugal in the European Union is considered a peripheral country. It's wrong, because if we consider the Atlantic as a center, we are a central country, together with the United States. In NATO, it's our organization, where the United States is the most important country, of course, and we are founding members as well. I mean, the center of NATO is the North Atlantic Ocean. So we have to recenter our interests. We have to recenter the geostrategic things, because if we go east and east and east, we will fall in the trap of going eastwards, and we will get out of Europe, of Central Europe, even Western Europe. And it's a trap for us, for you, and for us. And considering your question about European countries, first of all, I have to say very frankly that most of the European leaders are not exactly of high quality. And of course, they were elected by people who really do not know what's going on. And there's a lot of groups, including the European Commission, trying to put like a veil on what's happening in order to get people on their own side and to do whatever they want. See the cases of the elections in several countries, in Romania, in Georgia, in Hungary, and they are trying now with France, as you can see. They are already trying with Germany, trying to illegalize AfD, which is leading the polls. So all these groups led by European Commission and the usual NGOs and so on, they are trying to have their own narrative. But our narrative of the other countries, it's a completely different story. We attach a great importance, and if you talk about defense, we cannot have European defense without the United States. The United States is the backbone of NATO. And let's face it, it will be always the backbone of NATO. So it's better to have these things very clear and to have these geostrategic issues very clear, because they are not very clear. I mean, you see, for instance, Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the Commission, she wants now to create an European Union army. That's very good, having a German general, a French colonel, a Swedish captains, and everybody not speaking anything among themselves, not having a common language. It's going to be a great army. But more interesting enough, it was she, as Minister of Defense, who destroyed the German army when he was there. She was there. It's like the nuclear energy. Now she's speaking about reviving nuclear energy in Europe, but she was the culprit of destroying nuclear energy in Germany. So this is, if you're talking about Europe, nowadays you cannot talk about a bloc. We are in a very dire circumstances, Europe. Europe is no longer what it was in the past. We still have the culture, we still have the power of money in a certain way, but we don't count politically like we did in the past. Who cares about Europe sitting at the table in the conflict between Ukraine and Russia? Who cares about Europe sitting at the table in the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians? Nobody cares. I mean, we don't have a political voice, and it's not our fault. It's not the fault like the Europeans, like the Portuguese or other like-minded countries. It's the fault of this greed of Brussels, the Commission, I mean, of getting, imposing a federal government that was never in the spirit of the treaties. And this trying to impose situation which is completely against an Europe of sovereign nations, which we defend. I mean, they are trying to kill the unique characteristics of the nations, because to be different, it's a force, it's not a weakness. To be different is really our way of demonstrating to the world that different cultures, different nationalities, different pasts, different futures can make a very strong continent. And that's very important, and they don't understand it. They don't want to understand that. So they buy, I just give you as a small number, 17 billion euros, 17 billion euros spent in the so-called traditional media, the newspapers, the TVs, and so on. And those NGOs that go around doing messing like the Soros on NGOs, all those very important for themselves, of course, organizations, they are spreading chaos in our societies. So what's happening now, and that's a lot of money, we don't have that kind of money to counter that. We went to the social media, I mean, let's say the right, European right, went to social media, and in the social media are very strong. That's why they want to shut us up. And that's why they have now what we call the chat control. And unfortunately, I am the responsible for the Patriots, for the chat control. It just fell upon me, as I'm responsible for things that I never could dream about responsible for in European, in the Patriots. It just happened because, just let me tell you a small story. Why am I responsible for the chat control, which is, as you know, censorship? Your House of Representatives did a very good report on that, as you know. Mm-hmm. But we are not able to discuss that in European Parliament, you know. We try to, but they are not agreeing upon discussing these things. So one day, one of my colleagues from the LIBE, responsible for distributing the dossiers, and told me, Antonio, could you take this small report, is nice, is to protect the minors 16 under from bad things in the internet and the social media, like bullying, like other negative things, pornography and that kind of stuff. And I said, yeah, sure. For the young people, I do everything. I have 3 kids and 8 grandkids, so I'm totally in favor of protecting the kids. But that's not true, because in fact, that's a curtain, and that behind that curtain is all the process of censorship, all the process of controlling the opinions, all the process of controlling the narratives. Is a huge problem now. And if we don't fight it now, if we let it happen, it's going to be a disgrace for the population, for the citizens of Europe, because they treat the citizens like they treat a bunch of animals. I mean, everybody comes on this side, everybody goes to that side, everybody goes there. We don't. We think every single citizen is an important person. That's the difference between us and them. And finally, as you know, Europe is turning right.
Absolutely.
And my analysis of that is that that wave that was born in May '68 in France, in Paris, swapped everything on their way, and is now, its final expression is a wokeism. It's a very good thing that President Trump just is cleaning down the woke in the United States, because this has a direct reflex in Europe. I have no doubts about that.
Yeah.
It's very important. What happens here in the United States have a reflex in Europe. Now, we have been winning. We have been winning in Austria. We have been winning in Netherlands. We have been winning in Italy. We have been winning everywhere. The right. We didn't lose in Hungary because Orban lost, but the new guy Peter is also a right-wing guy. Mm-hmm. So the right did not lose. They did not elect one leftist to the parliament. So this wave that is sweeping Europe, we are winning in Portugal. We became from one member of parliament 6 years ago to 60 now in 6 years.
Wow.
We are now the second biggest party in Portugal. So Vox is climbing. In Spain, it's a difficult climb because the Spanish have a different problems with us. And in France, Bardella, the polls are giving an absolute majority of votes to win the French presidential elections. And AfD in Germany, which is a bit more complicated party, but still, they are winning in the polls. The Austrians, FPO as the first party. I mean, of course, they made a coalition between the Christian Democrats and the Socialists, but that is temporary. They will lose. So there is this wave coming up, and we have to follow this wave. We have to use this wave to create a different situation. And both elections in Germany and in France next year are absolutely crucial for the future of Europe. Absolutely crucial. Okay, we'll have a completely different ballgame there. But as far as we are concerned, in the more western part between Portugal and Spain, it's crucial that Sanchez, who is, as you know, is a corrupt guy,
I know, yeah.
is still. But the socialists never leave. The left never leaves power. So it's crucial that he goes, and then the Popular Party and the Vox go to power and change Spain, because Spain is an important country. And then I think that we have great possibilities of winning the next election. So as you can see, Europe now is moving not together, but on a separate ways. Every single country is having their own way. And that's why I'm telling you that it's a much more stronger Europe, the Europe of sovereign countries, than a Europe with a center in Brussels on a federal basis, I mean, imposing to the countries whatever they want.
Absolutely. And I wanted to bring up, Vice President, one thing that you mentioned before. It's that the United States and Europe move together. And I found that we have a common struggle in mass migration. And a lot of that in Europe is from the Middle East. And I wanted to pose the question to you, is Islam compatible with Western culture and Western civilization?
No.
I would tend to agree.
No. Actually, in Portugal and Spain, our problem, Spain a little bit, yes, because Morocco and so on.
Yeah.
Portugal, no. The problem with Portugal is Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, the Muslims.
Really?
Absolutely. We practically have no Moroccans or Middle East people, Syrians. I mean, I know that in Germany and in the Netherlands and in Austria there is a big problem with the Syrians. We don't have Syrians in Portugal. We don't have Palestinians in Portugal. We don't have the people from the Middle East in Portugal. But we have worse.
Right.
And these people don't come to integrate. They come definitely to impose their own rule. And we have this criminal, I tell criminal with the total conviction of the word I'm saying, criminal, of the previous government, socialist government, who abolishing Schengen, I mean being part of Schengen Treaty, immigration is possible, of course, controlled immigration, but this illegal, non-controlled immigration, they come by plane. They arrive in the Lisbon airport. Not by boats like in the Mediterranean. They come by plane,
Right.
sitting on these Gulf companies, nice airplanes. They arrive in Lisbon and they write a paper saying, I am looking for work in Portugal. They say, thank you very much, you have 6 months. They will never leave. And we are talking about more than 1.4 million in a country of 10 million.
1.4 million
Yeah,
in a country of 10 million. That's incredible. What can we do about it?
that's a good question. It's almost impossible to pick them up and to send them back. I mean, it's a logistic operation. It's huge.
Yeah.
We don't have that capacity. So I don't know. Now, I heard the last news this week that quite a number of them, because they can illegally have the Portuguese documents. So once with the Portuguese documents in hand, they will slip to other European countries. I mean, increasing the population of the Muslim countries in other European countries. Now, the Muslim population. Now the problem is the secret services of France, the French secret services, did a very interesting report on the influence of the Muslim Brotherhood in Europe, in France and in Europe. I've been on this issue since I was ambassador in Cairo, in Egypt, where Morsi, as you know, from the Muslim Brotherhood, took the power, and then the people, Egyptian people, took him down, but he was 1 year in office, and it was absolutely terrible, like they were in power in other southern Mediterranean countries, Morocco, and now they are phasing out because the people, they understand what they are, and they still have their siege in Qatar, which is amazing because we are, I mean, babysitting Qatar. We organize the World Championship, Football World Championship in Qatar. We do everything in Qatar, and they are subsidizing terrorists all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
In our own countries. Absolutely. I mean, the Muslim Brotherhood is highly supported by Qatar and by Turkey.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and the United States, they have a strong presence with CARE and other organizations. And the President Trump was almost illegalizing them and calling them a terrorist movement in the first mandate. Mm-hmm. And we are very much, I wouldn't say forcing, but trying that President Trump on this mandate will consider them as terrorists and an illegal organization, because they are infiltrating very smoothly in all our states, in all our organizations. I mean, you don't have the impression that they come like destroying things or doing very violent actions. No, they integrate themselves in the institutions, and one day you wake up and you have a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up. It sounds like, you're doing a lot of tremendous work, not only in Portugal, but throughout the entire continent. And throughout the continent, there has been talks of remigration. And it's always been a topic that's been interesting to me, because we kind of see similar situations in the United States. We have, some say it's up to 100 million illegal aliens in our country. Could be 20, could be 100. Personally, I subscribe to the higher number. But in Europe, how can the Europeans implement remigration if they can?
That's a very good question. I've been asking myself how to do it. I spoke with my colleagues, and they know as much as I do. I mean, they don't. I mean, how can you... but we won a victory in the European Parliament. It was a proposal from the Patriots battling and getting down from the first proposal of immigration from the past legislature. And we won a big victory. I mean, admitting remigration and cutting illegal migration. So that was on the paper, we are there. Like in the Green Deal, we also had big victories because we know we are going down economically because of the Green Deal demands, and our industries and our enterprises are completely being killed by ourselves. I mean, if you have this chair that to be produced in Europe, it will cost 10. If that same chair is produced in the United States or in India or in China for 5, which chair are you going to buy? The one that costs 5.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. That goes with the automotive. The automotive industry in Europe is going down the drains very fast. And for instance, Volkswagen has a plan to dismiss 50,000 employees in the next couple of years. But 50,000, it's not 50,000 people. It's 50,000 families.
Wow.
I mean, can you imagine what this is? In Germany already, during this winter, the past winter, people and families had to make a choice between warming up the house or having more food or more Medicare. I mean, Germany. So we are going into a situation that is absolutely terrible and also at the same time absurd, because Europe is responsible for about 4% of the CO2 emissions. 4. Everybody
Worldwide?
worldwide. And so, but we are restraining ourselves.
Yeah.
So how can you compete with other countries who couldn't care less about these emissions?
That's incredible.
And the goal for Europe is to have 0 emissions. 0, can you believe that? How the trees will die because the trees need CO2.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Yeah, of course. I mean, all this. If we go into that conversation about ecology and so on, we can go or these windmills and all these solar plates, the solar energy. It's a hoax. First of all, they installed that in land that could produce food.
Right.
And there's another thing. They produce microplastics, micro things, and so on. So a land where where the solar panels are installed will not produce food for years.
Wow.
The windmills, very nice. It's bad for human beings because the vibration, and it's now proved that the cycles of those windmills, it's bad for human health and animals, of course. And worse, they want to put that on sea. And on sea, it will spoil completely the fisheries, the tourism, the navigability, I mean, the cables, the security of the countries. Sweden, a couple of months ago, prohibited the installation of 22 out of 23 windmills parks on the sea.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea what kind of ecologic crimes they are planning to do, which is amazing if you see it, because you commit ecologic crimes in the name of ecology.
Isn't it crazy?
No, it's absolutely, and
insane?
the specialists don't call this alternative energy. They call it non-stable energy.
Right.
So I don't think that's an option. It's ideology over efficiency.
Exactly. Exactly. They're doing that. People like Bernie Sanders and the senator from Massachusetts, her name escapes me right now, Liz Warren, they have the same ideas.
Of course.
So I guess I'd ask you as a final question, what advice would you give to Americans to avoid going down the same path?
Well, don't do it what we are doing. I mean, see what Europe is doing and do the opposite. I mean, and do, I think the more important thing here is people.
Yeah.
The left doesn't care about people. The left cares about ideas because they are superiorly, morally, they are more intelligent, more bright than everybody else.
Right.
They think, but they are not. So they don't care about the citizens. You have to see what really are the needs of the citizens and the needs of the societies, and then act accordingly. Because people need to live well. People deserve to live well. People deserve to have a good life. They don't deserve to, in the name of ideologies, to live badly. It's because, I mean, you see, the crisis of energy in Europe, we have a crisis of energy. It's not because you're almost straight, because less than 4% of our energy comes through there. So it's not. It comes from everywhere.
Right.
But still, we have huge problems of energy because of bad options. Because Mrs. Merkel made a deal with the Russians that, let's say, 80% of the energy would come from Russia at a cheaper price. Good. Now, Russia are the bad guys. Where is the energy?
Nowhere to be found.
Oh, we have to buy the energy three times more expensive.
Oh, yeah. And where's that coming from? Where is
From everywhere.
from like United States?
For Portugal, we are not a problem. Comes from Africa and from North Africa, from southern Mediterranean, Algeria, and so on, and from Africa itself. So for us, it's not a problem. And we could circulate it to the rest of Europe, but
It's incredible. It's incredible what they're doing, and you are a patriot for what you're doing for not only Europe, not only Portugal, but for the whole world. Because this right-wing movement in Europe is setting a path for the rest of the world to follow. And I'm very happy that you came by here. I truly, Mr. Vice President, thank you so much for coming.
my plan is, if you allow me one last
Of
word,
course.
I'm working very hard together with other colleagues in Unite the Right in the European Parliament. That means we can be by far the first group in European Parliament, and then they will not kid with us. Then we'll be the new kids in the block, and we will rule.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. But thank you very much for having me. I think I spoke too much, maybe, but I think it's...
Oh, please. I love it. Come on. Oh, man. Well, thank you all for watching this exclusive CityCon interview. My name is Mario J. Nicoletto. Back to you.